I am Rinde Adebayo.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to AskRinde. I'm Rinde Adebayo, digital entrepreneur, real estate entrepreneur, and top producing agent here in New Jersey. And welcome to AskRinde. So today I actually want to talk about 5 reasons you should save your home. With so much information floating around on the internet, content, videos, blog posts about how to take your home, I figured I'll create a place where you can go to figure out how to actually save your home. Yes, it seems like everything that's out there is showing people tips and tricks on how to actually get your house from under you, or ways that they can become millionaires by buying your house, or foreclosures or distressed properties that you live in. And so I wanted to actually create this place and this space, and that's why I created the AskRinde network, for a place for you to go to figure out how to have an advantage and how to actually deal with your situation. Coming from someone who was previously in foreclosure, who has dealt with it and helped hundreds of families over the years navigate the foreclosure process from start to finish, I can tell you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. Don't let anyone tell you that it's over. Of course, there are things that you have to do along the way to be realistic and try to face your challenges head on. And provided that you do those things and you do and put your best foot forward, then we have to leave the rest up to basically chance. So with that being said, I want to actually hit on 5 key ways that you could save your home, and I'll get right into it. So the first reason why you should save your home, and that would be to save your equity. Most Americans, whether you're a baby boomer or millennial, most of us have our net worth tied up or tied to our equity. Whether you are a young person that just bought a house recently, and let's say you bought a house in a nice area and the values are rising, and you find a sudden spike in your value or your equity in the property, that's a great thing. Or if you're someone who's older, who's actually been in the home for years and had the market now obviously grown, and now you find yourself with a lot of equity in your home, this is one of the main reasons to fight for your home, and that is to save your equity. Most of us actually create equity in different ways. Some of us buy into a situation where equity is in the property when we buy it. Many people, aside from their 401k or being an entrepreneur where you own a business or some other valuable asset, most of us have our assets and our net worth tied to our homes. So it's a very important point. This is one of the main reasons why you should save your home, and that is to retain control and keep ownership of your equity in the property. The second reason why you should save your home, and that would be to save your credit. Now, this is a major one, because many people that face foreclosure, the number one thing on the top of their mind is, my credit is shot. I could never get my credit back. You get to the point where, like me, there was a point in life where I looked at my Social Security and I was like, it means nothing, because I was so down in the hole that how, I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, where you're on a phone call. Let's say you're applying for health insurance or health care or something, and they ask you for your social. Now, when your credit is good, you're so secretive, I can't give you my social over the phone. When your credit is messed up, you're like, sure, I'll give you my whole credit. So, I'll give you my whole Social Security number. And it's funny because it's like, I look back in life and I remember the time where I was so down that I was just like, I went to apply for a car once, and they were like, what's your Social Security number? And I was just like, I was afraid because I knew I was going to get denied. And, sometimes I look back on it and you laugh about it, but I mean, at the time it wasn't funny. So like I said, I've been there. I've been in the pit. I know what the valley is like, and I know what it is to be on the top as well, and how to navigate the process. And so, basically saving your credit is an evolving process. It's something that I've actually developed some key unique strategies and secrets on how to not only build your credit, but come back after foreclosure, and not only after, but during a foreclosure. Believe it or not, in my time, I have dealt with the gambit. Obviously, it goes without saying, most people who own homes and their name is attached to the property. Whether your name is on the mortgage or the deed, and you're being foreclosed on, and you have, haven't paid the mortgage in many, many years, your credit will be affected and will be hit. And so generally, your credit is affected. Generally, you will have bad credit if you are in foreclosure. But I can tell you, just like everything else, there are some exceptions. I have dealt with a number of cases where, and I even now to this day, I have clients of ours that are in foreclosure that haven't paid many, many years. And I would say some 5, 6, 7 years, and their credit is in the 700s. How? I have no idea. I mean, this is something that, believe me, we've seen it, and we've been able to help some people, nurture them along, figuring out how to improve their credit that are down. We actually do that. We help people build their credit up. But one of the things that kind of boggles me sometimes is when I actually come on the scene and the person's credit is already, tip top and really intact. And so it goes to show you how different rules apply, because in those cases there are some lenders that it depends also on the lenders that they're dealing with and what they're reporting to the credit agencies. And there's a number of things that are actually come to the mix and come to play in those type of scenarios. It could be where there's a spouse that was on the mortgage and the other spouse was not, and that person's credit was not affected. It could be a number of different reasons, but I have actually developed a few secrets to be able to help develop credit, and that's one of the reasons why I strongly recommend that you actually save your credit. So the number 2 reason to save your home would be to save your credit. The third reason to save your home would be because there are no guarantees. Now, what do I mean by that? There are no guarantees. A lot of times people find themselves in a situation and they figure out that, you know what, I'm going to wait till the last minute. I'm going to wait till 2 months before I have a sheriff's sale date or an auction. Now I'm going to call my attorney up because I already told him that, I have a situation. So he's got his finger on his hand on the button to be able to push it and file an emergency bankruptcy for me when it's time. So a lot of times I call this the kick the bucket down the road syndrome, because with dealing with attorneys and having that kind of an outlook, what you're looking at is basically just delaying something that's the inevitable. What I mean by that is, I'm saying that to say that oftentimes if you're in a situation where you're dealing with a foreclosure and something that is in distress and you're not able to shake it, if you're looking at it and as a bankruptcy is your way out, then you have to realize that there are a number of things that are attached to that. I've done videos on bankruptcy and how to file bankruptcy and specifics regarding that, and also knowing and putting you in a framework of understanding that there are no guarantees even if you're dealing with an attorney. I've had a lot of people that I've helped over the years that have had paid attorneys thousands of dollars, from retention fees to filing fees for motions, etc., and they still lost the property. So you have ultimately the responsibility. It is your house. It is the roof over your head. It is your asset. So you have to actually understand that you have to have the frame of mind that no matter what happens, the buck stops with me. And everyone that's attached or is working my case or whatever the situation is, you have to be on top of your game. There are no guarantees. So with that being said, what you want to make sure is that if you are positioning yourself to, let's say, file for bankruptcy, then you have to be ready to deal with all that comes with it. I always recommend that you have a proper consultation with about 2 or 3 people, specifically attorneys, to get your different viewpoints and get insight on what you can expect. Because if you're thinking that you're just going to make an emergency motion last minute and you don't know if you can afford it, then you find yourself in a major surprise, and you don't want that. The element of winning in a foreclosure situation is all about time. For us, the most success that we've had in helping people with foreclosure are those people who are motivated, cooperative, and actually act accordingly, and that is act early. Because I've always shared that if you act early, the chances are better. Whether you're trying to keep the home, whether you're trying to figure out a loan modification, whether you're trying to do a short sale, or whether you feel like, you know what, this has been too much, I like to actually salvage this and fix this issue, but I want to move on. So whatever the case is, your options are better and your chances are better when you actually start at it early. So always remember that there are no guarantees. You want to make sure that you position yourself as best as you can so that whatever action you are going to take, you have a better chance of actually executing it. And so I strongly recommend that in order for you to save your home, have the mindset that there are no guarantees. So it gives you more of a proactive way of thinking and action, and you're executing things better. So for the fourth and fifth reason to why you should save your home, I'd like to actually continue the conversation in the comment section. I'd like you to tell me what you think the fourth and the fifth way and the fourth and the fifth reason to save your home should be, and what do you think I would say. Just want to dialogue with you guys, interact more, because we're really in this together. I want to be able to share as much knowledge as I can and help as many people as I can. As I've always shared, one of the reasons why I always don't give broad, direct answers is simply because many situations are unique. You may feel like, you know what, I want to do this, and this is the exact answer because I watched a video on that. And then when you find out in reality that it's not, because there were some things about your situation that was unique. So this is one of the reasons why, for specifics regarding your situation, you do need to actually deal with it that way and know what is actually your solution. So I always open myself up. My email address is AskRinde@gmail.com. You can reach me on my website, AskRinde.com, and my phone number 201-855-7575. Let's continue the conversation below. I look forward to your comments. Please like, comment, share the videos. It's a great thing growing this network and helping so many people all around. Meeting people from all over the country. It's been incredible, and I look forward to having a wonderful year with you guys this year. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to checking with you guys soon.